Hello there, it's Cassie. Welcome back for another Trinity Stamps video. Today we're going to be playing with the very popular Peep Show stamp set by Trinity Stamps. This has been super popular, and if you haven't been able to get your hands on it, you might want to go see if you can snag it. We have a matching die to go along with it. That die set cuts out all of our sentiments as well as our little peeps, and I just love this set. So let's come up with another idea for it. So we're going to make a whole background using this solid peep image. I'm going to start off by stamping that peep with one of the lighter ink colors that I have. It's a lighter yellow. And then just on one of the edges, I'm going to take a darker yellow, and I'm just going to try to stay primarily on that one edge using that darker yellow, and it gives our peep some dimension. I'm going to clean him up and move him down, and then we're going to grab some purple and some pink. So this first one is a pink color. I'm going to stamp him with that pink color, and then just like we did before, we're going to use a darker color, and we're going to just keep that to the one edge where I want some shadowing. And if you get it too dark, you can always kind of pounce some of that away, but I'm going to leave it kind of dark there, and I'm not going to pounce any of that away. And we're going to basically just do the entire background this way. And you will need a MISTI or some sort of stamp positioning tool to do this because you are stamping twice, one right over the other. And while you probably could eyeball it, it just will make it a little bit more difficult. And since we're stamping it so many times, if you screw up one of them, then you kind of have to start all over. So a stamp positioning tool is vital for this type of a background. So once again, we're going to go in with that yellow, just take the darker yellow to the one edge and stamp that out. And when you see the end result, you're just going to be like, that's really cool. So I am going to end up making two different cards. I'll only show you this card in this video, but the other one uses yellows and blues. And you could do it with any colors that you wanted, any color peep, right? So we're going to flip our bunny around. We're going to move them all over the place. And we are going to stamp off of the paper as well. That just gives the illusion that there's more going on outside of our card. I love that. So we'll finish up with this last peep here. And again, final bit, just kind of inking up that one edge. And then we'll clean everything up and pull this off of our stamp positioning tool. And then I do need to stamp 3 more because I want those for the inside of my card. Our final bit that we're going to do to this peep, at least for stamping, is we're going to add its face. So pardon my head, I just want to make sure I'm stamping each of those straight on. And adding that little face just takes it to the next level, if you ask me. I feel like he now has character. And the nostalgia that this whole stamping process is giving me is super fun. Okay, so when we finish up all of the stamping of our peeps, the next thing I want to do is make them look like they have a little bit of sugar on them. So I've got a coffee filter, and I have my Crafty Gluefriend, and I have some very chunky glitter. So what I'm going to do with our Crafty Gluefriend is I'm going to go on the opposite edge that the shadow is on, and I'm just going to lightly put a little bit of glue. You don't want it to be real thick. I'm just going to put a little bit of that glue down on all of those peeps where our edge is the lighter edge. So I'll do it for all of them. I figured this is easier to put down the glue first for all of them, and then we'll take our chunky glitter and we're just going to pour this all over the front of our panel. Our panel does measure, I didn't mention this earlier, but our panel measures 4 inches by 5 1/4, so it's a little bit smaller than the front of an A2 size card. And then I'll flick off any of the excess. You'll want to let this kind of dry, but check that out. They look like sugary little peeps with all kinds of dimension. Is that not super fun? And then I'm going to do it with the ones that go on the inside, but you're going to want to die cut those out first. So I've die cut all 3 of my little peeps because this way you don't have to worry about that glitter transferring or making sure that your glue is all completely dry before you die cut. So I went ahead and die cut first. And we're just using our Crafty Gluefriend, just a tiny bit on there, sticking it right into our glitter and shaking off all of the excess. But again, I love how this looks. We've got sugary little peeps. It just makes my heart so happy. So let me show you how those look. And that glue is going to dry clear, so it's going to be even a little bit more subdued on there. All right, I am going to stamp out our sentiments. So I have a piece of black sentiment cardstock. It's a very smooth black cardstock. I used an anti-static powder tool on it. I stamped out the sentiments using some juicy embossing ink, and then I covered those with a white detail embossing powder. And then I'll heat set that till that is smooth and melted. And then we'll pull in the matching dies that go along with all of our sentiments, and we'll tack that down with a little bit of mint tape. And then we're going to run this through our die cutting machine. But again, one of the things I love about Trinity Stamps is that they have matching dies for a lot of their sentiments. My cardstock for our base is going to be a little bit darker purple cardstock, kind of to match the darker color that we used to make our shadow. That measured 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and I scored that at 4.25 inches. So it will be a full A2 size card. And then I'm going to bring in our Crafty Gluefriend, and we're going to stick down our sentiment. I probably should have put down our first Peep, but at the time I wasn't 100% sure how that was all going to fit on there. I know I sort of plan things out, but it doesn't always go as planned. So we're going to overlap these two little Peeps, and then this yellow Peep is where I was having the struggle. So I was putting glue on him, and I was like, ooh, he's going to go over the flap or where the fold is, and we don't want that. And I didn't want him over on the other side. So what I end up doing is pulling our sentiment back just a little bit before it's completely dry. But this glue does dry fairly quickly, so keep that in mind. I'll have to pull it down a little bit more, and then I can stick our Peep underneath it, and pardon my head, just add a little bit more glue to our sentiment, and that's going to finish the inside of the card. Now we'll take our panel and we'll use our same liquid glue after I trim off just a little bit of this Peep. It wasn't enough to really see, but it was there. And then we'll use our Crafty Gluefriend to attach down our panel to our card base using leaves a nice border all the way around our card. And then I'm going to bring in some of our Trinity Stamps adhesive foam strips. These are perfect for most of the sentiments that Trinity Stamps carries. They're easy to adhere to the back. And then you just peel off that release paper. They fit beautifully behind. And then we'll be able to stick our squishy sweet hugs from your Peeps, and then on the inside says you're one of my favorite Peeps. I love this card so much. I hope you like it too. If you did, hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And as always, big thanks for all of the love and support that you guys give me, whether it be watching my videos, using my affiliate links. All of those things really do help me to keep producing videos. And I will see you very soon in another video. Bye everybody.